This is Overtime with Terrence and Leon.
Coach, welcome to a special edition this evening. We're going to rehash the regular season, talk about the postseason, and reflect a little bit on your seniors. Coach, when you think about the season, opening night until now, where have you seen the most significant change in your team?
First, how did it go so quickly? Right, it went so quickly, and tonight was practice number 60. So it's a lot of work in there, a lot of time, block zero. But as far as improvement, we saw it this summer when we first started going to this style, because we had to make just some decisions. What are our pluses? What are our strengths? Where are we going to be deficient in terms as we match up with other teams? And very quickly, even coming off last year, obviously we could shoot it. But could we put some more ball handling with it? Because we came in with Braden Maple and Braden Hughes being our only size. And they're not your, if anything, they'd be your traditional maybe power forward, more so a small forward, right? A wing player. So we've just kept adapting, but what's been so special when you watch is they care for each other. Because coming into the season, every season you got to do a lot of psychology, a lot of culture talk, right? You got to defend your culture every day. But can I get them to share the basketball enough? And that's been what I'm most proud of, is how it's. I've had multiple people express to me they like watching how hard they play, but also when that basketball starts moving. It's really fun, and teams have a hard time keeping up with that because we've got multiple guys at all times that can score from the air on the floor. So that care, but then from a physical standpoint, I've been impressed with their motor. It's not easy to guard 84 by 50 for 32 minutes. And Leon, outside of just a few instances in some games where it comes down to schematics, that's what they've done.
Yeah.
And we've been playing 7.5, sometimes 6.5. Yeah. So just kudos to the guys for how hard they work in the off-season to be able to play that way during the regular season.
Coach, when you look back at this team, your record's 18-3 regular season. You're 6-1 right now with a chance for at least a share of the conference title. What stands out to you about this team and the way they work?
Just the sharing the basketball comes up. Because as I think about each team, and my wife Jenny, unbeknownst to me, so I was on a social media hiatus for a Cook-Olympic performance challenge. She started putting it, because she's always taking a picture of a senior group with our kids, starting when Lincoln was the only child, and then as Winston and Elmore came along. So as you think about each group, I can think of memories from them right away. Each group has their own set of memories. Team 106, what will always come to mind about them? Obviously, Lincoln's part of it, so I've seen these guys grow up. Secondly, just how much they shared the basketball, right? It's not perfect, and there's times where we have to still have those discussions, but truly they love each other enough. And I had Coach Seaver talk to them around the Ripley County time, and when you think about special teams, and this is going down as a special team, the first ingredient you have to have is you have to care for each other. Right. And I think that's a mark that's shown in this group the entire season.
Coach, when you look at your style play, the up-tempo pace, shooting the threes, these guys bring a lot of energy every night. How's that style become such a consistent part of who this team is?
Yeah, and it goes back to what we said earlier. It matches, I think, what our skill sets are, our personnel. It'd be easy for me, and I probably fell into this trap some as a younger coach where, hey, I've got a system, and you're going to plug into the system. Instead of, all right, I've got you guys as players, what best system fits you? And it just so happens with this group, it also is the popular brand of basketball right now. You're seeing at the NBA level, a lot of stuff we steals from NBA, from college, and space, right, pace. But then it also takes skill set and it takes opportunity at shots. And this group has set the record for many three-pointers in a game. We've tied it. We've came one short of it. We've came two short of it multiple times. So when you mix all that together, and then you had to put the cohesion, I think that's a style that's marked this team so well and what's made them so successful.
Coach, when you look at the crowds this season, the Bulldog Nation, they've been great. What does that mean to the team and the program to see everybody out every night?
I'll steal the words. I had Terry Giesing, Nace Moore even talk to the group, and then I had Ron Laker, who was in town, literally. And Ron Laker from 1971 is a world traveler, and he purposely arranged his entire year's schedule so he could catch 2 games of the Bulldogs. Like he said, because he went to the Thursday night game against Rushville, talked to the guys Friday before the Central game on Saturday, and he said it perfectly, as did Terry and Ace. There are people that were coming to games that watched Ron play in the early 70s, right? Grandma's Weigel's one of them. She's going to be 97 years old. And it's been fun to see the people come back, whether it be parents of players that played for us 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and they've heard about this group and they've had a chance to come back. And I've had former players reach out to me, seeing them on BNN, and you know what, we need to come catch a game. That's all kudos to the guys. It's fun to shoot threes, but I've watched plenty of film where teams jack up threes and they're not playing any defense.
Yeah.
Right, or it's one guy forcing shots. It's just a fun game to watch, and there's several clips this year where, and you remember this, how the San Antonio Spurs, those highlight clips they used to put together with the Spurs, it's just been poetry in motion.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really fun to be a part of.
Yeah. Coach, let's talk about some of the key moments this year. Tell us about some of those moments where you saw the team take a step forward, and you really, all of a sudden, it's like a aha.
I would say from start to Christmas, it's the first time in my career we went into Christmas undefeated. I've went into Christmas sometimes with one loss. But you could argue, well, they're not really playing anybody. And our margin of victory was quite impressive. But the margin of victory was quite impressive, right? We did to teams what it looked like we were supposed to do to teams once you start getting some numbers, some stats, some film. So I would say that period is marked by we dominate teams we should have. But then it's not always going to be that easy, right? Especially with our conference, as more film gets out there, as different schemes are created. So then you get to our Batesville tournament. We lost a tough game to Greenfield Central. Why is that a highlight? Because we learned from it, right? It was miscommunication, it was some defensive lapses, it was some offensive lapses. But these guys, film room, they learned from it. Then you get into Ripley County, and I think obviously South Ripley is showing that they're a premier team in the area.
Right.
I think they've had a chance to make a really nice run. We were able to beat them right before Christmas, and then the hardest part was to beat them in the Ripley County tournament, right, as you said, with this gym full because then the entire county comes out. Really, really good matchup. So that was impressive. And then we got into our conference schedule, weathered a good game against Greensburg here and won, went to Frank County, won, but then had to quickly turn around because that's that weekend the snow came, and within hours on Saturday afternoon, very early, we played Connorsville. And that was a good win for us, a tough win. And you get out of conference in some moments, and I think the next one that comes up specifically is just that win at South Dearborn. And a game where Braden Hughes was sick. That's when the flu was going on. He was not able to make it. And that's the game where we needed him the most because South Dearborn is very big. They crash, they're athletic at the rim. And they come out and punched us in the face. Right. I mean, we were down 16, but then we made a couple late buckets in the half, we're down 12. And with this group, with the experience I've had, I wasn't very happy with them at halftime. I didn't think our effort was very good. Defensively, we were very passive. So I could have went in there and turned upside down the locker room. We just went there and said, hey, good finish to the second half. We're still within striking distance. And then methodically, Leon, possession by possession by possession, defensively and offensively, tough rebounds. We come back, and James Hughes on a broken play. And I said this in the interview after that week. Our goal, tough call, they're getting 2 free throws, misses the first, still a tie game, makes the second. We had a timeout left, so I'm like, let's get to half court and call timeout. It came down on the far side. James was in space. I'm still trying to call timeout on the far side. James goes to work. It's better to be lucky than good sometimes, right? Because James in there earned a call, but then the pressure's on.
Yeah.
So it was a good crowd. We had a lot of people there that night, and James has to get up there and hit 2 free throws with under, I think it was 1.8 seconds left, and knocks them both down. So that's when I knew, all right, we've got a basketball team. We've got a tough basketball team, mentally and physically, because early in that game, Maple was out with 3 fouls early in the first half. We persevered through that. Mate played a solid second half with 3 fouls, and then just go on down the line as far as guys had to make plays. So that's probably the one that stands out the most right now as far as, all right, that's a game we really grew up. And from there, we've put a nice season together, and like you said, would have really liked to win the conference outright, but I told the guys, Greensburg, their state championship team. We beat them here. Like, it's hard in our conference, no matter what the year is, to go undefeated in that conference. So we'll see what happens Friday night. I truly don't care. Right? We're conference champions. If we share it, so be it. If it's standalone, so be it. Just proud of the guys to accomplish. They've accomplished Ripley County. They've accomplished the conference. And now it's really the fun time of year when we get into March.
Coach, with all the success you've had this season, and each team has their own different identity and personality, beyond the wins and the stats and any of that, what are you most proud of this group?
I'll give you an example from tonight. Practice flies by. And there's been some years, Leon loved the guys, but whether it be a different makeup of a group, just different things going on, there's sometimes where practices can really be a struggle, especially in February.
Yes.
And this group tonight was one of our crispest practices, and we went longer than I typically do this time of year, just in terms of getting some things done that we know our sectional path, and just they're vocal, challenge them with. There's that fine line between being vocal, being positive, and then it getting into where it's distraction. And this group has really grown up in that regard. And just the overall camaraderie, and I think as I get older, as Lincoln's group is up here, I think too, it's like, okay, I don't care if we win a state championship, this time is finite.
Yeah.
Right? Now we have 7 practices and a game left before we play that first sectional game. So in the moment, make sure we enjoy it while we also push them really, really hard. And that's a fun part too. I mean, I'm on James Hughes tonight. I'm on Braden Maple at one point tonight. These guys have played a lot of varsity basketball, but they're still coachable, and they're still allow themselves to be pushed to a higher level, and that part's fun.
Coach, we're going to talk about a special group, your seniors. What have they provided to this program, again, that goes beyond the X's and the O's and the wins and stats and things like that?
I put together, with the help of an 8th grader, a senior trip video. And I had the parents send them some pictures through the years.
Saw that. It was great.
Yeah.
It
And
was
I had
great.
the parents send in their videos. And most parents did it together, but Jenny did it while we were at practice, and I wanted to do mine at the end because I talked about all the seniors. And Leon, all this stuff I do, some other stuff I do, it gets to my part of the video, and my part didn't work. I don't know.
Did you not hit record?
Still don't know what I did wrong. The face was up there, but the volume was very, very subtle. It's like, so Big Cannon, of course, we'll do it live. I'm like, no problem. Everybody spin your chairs, look this way. Let me get I put up on my computer what I'd said. I couldn't get through the first paragraph.
Oh, man.
Because then they're looking at me, and not only Lincoln, who's been here since he could crawl and walk. I'm seeing Schneid, Telu, Maple's born a few days after Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen these guys as babies. I've seen him in Little League basketball. I coached Maple in Youth League basketball.
Yeah.
So that's where it's a special group in that regard, but they've all grown up. And I'll talk about Braden and Trenton. All of them really. They've all had their own journey where they've had to grow up. It's been uncomfortable. We've pushed them hard. They've not liked me a lot of times, and that's even including my own son, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right? But you talk about Ethan Schneider, how his confidence has just grown, and he's really grown into just that steady leader. Trent Lewis, his maturity where he's not living and dying every time the ball goes in or doesn't go in that hoop. He's realizing how much he brings to us. And I talked about Maple in that speech. This was the best way I could think of to describe him. He's just been one of our pillars, right? It's not always about stars, and Maple's had games where he's been our star. He's always impacting the game, but he's been that pillar. He's always going to be here focused. He's always going to be here after practice shooting free throws before he goes off the floor, always.
Yeah.
And for other players, that gives us, Maple's here. We know things, we know what to expect. And for our younger guys to see that from a senior leader, and to see also, it's not been a straight line. It's been nice and smooth. It's been a bumpy road. I just am very, very proud of how they persevered, how they came through it. And I couldn't be any more excited, any more proud to go into the sectional with this group. And we'll see how it goes, because I know if we don't make it to the ultimate goal of a state championship, whatever team is able to take us out, they would have played a good game to do it, because we're not going to quit.
Yeah.
Bruins Guts Willer is the right choice for your next construction project. We strive to deliver unparalleled service to our clients by focusing on craftsmanship and quality. Our core values of integrity, professionalism, and fair pricing all but ensures our clients receive the best possible experience. Whether it's commercial construction, remodeling an existing space, or even building a luxurious home, we offer a comprehensive suite of construction management services. So before you break ground, give us a call at 812-934-2105. Bruins Guts Willer, building a better future for southeastern Indiana for over 100 years.
You know, Leon, one of the things that I like most about working and living in Batesville, it's the community. Batesville has a little something for everyone, and FCN Bank is the exact same way. Whether it's my personal or business needs, FCN offered me an array of banking products and services that would fit my every banking need. Don't take my word for it. You should check it out yourself at www.fcnbank.com. FCN Bank, building stronger communities. Member FDIC.
Let's stay with these guys for a second. Whether it's practice, locker room, challenging stretches in the season, how has this group of seniors been able to establish the standard that you expect?
They've been accepting of when the standard slips, and I'm on all of them, or the assistant coaches are on any of them. They're not bucking coaches, right? They're not talking back to coaches. They're not giving an attitude. All right, we got to meet the standard. And Ethan Snyder tonight, and they get squirrely here in February, and I forget who he's talking to. I'm like, Ethan, you lead this, because we always start with the huddle. You lead the thought for the day. And it's about, hey, have a great practice for yourself and for the guy beside you. So that's what it's all about. Do it for the team, do it for the brothers beside you. So I had to recalibrate him right being in practice. And I thanked him at the end of practice, because we had one of our sharpest practices. He helped lead it.
Yep.
So that's where I've been, again, the maturity where they've just grown up. And even, and I'll compare it to Lincoln at home, right? What's going to be really tough. Senior night was tough, but next August is going to be really tough.
Yeah.
When they leave the home, that energy's gone, because Lincoln's the point where I'm talking to a young adult. He's humorous. He can have adult conversation. And I would say that's true of all those guys. All of a sudden, Leon, they are truly young men now. The start of the season, I probably still looked at them as teenage boys. Yeah. They are truly young men, and they're leading our program in that manner.
There's going to be a time where that clock hits 0 and those guys are walking off the floor. What do you hope the program carries forward that those guys have brought to the table?
Yeah, and it's when I ask them about this, right? Who do you remember? Cole Pride, Jack Runkmeyer, Gus Prickle, Sam Johnson. So I've challenged them as we've done our leadership work through the year too, as I meet with those captains and we go through chapters together. How are you gonna leave this place, right? How are you gonna leave it in terms of what are these as these 3 freshmen are behind us? What are they gonna remember about you guys' leadership? And so far, really, really good. And it's interesting you ask, because night at half court, how we ended practice, Braden Maple had to give the eulogy at his grandfather's funeral today.
Yeah.
And I asked the crowd, how many guys have given a eulogy? Just me, right? And I didn't have to give my grandfather's. So to do that as a teenager, and I was able to be there with the sectional all day, I was able to go to the funeral before the sectional meeting, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He paused once. Unbelievable. So where I took that with the guys is first complimented him for doing that and honoring his grandfather. But I asked him, what's the difference between a eulogy and an obituary? Some interesting answers, and they got to the main point, right? This group has built a really good obituary. Wins, championships, people coming back to games in large numbers, etc. What's the difference with the eulogy? How's this team going to leave people feeling? How are they going to leave each other feeling? How are they going to leave the underclassmen feeling? And that's the greatest compliment I'll give this senior group. They're writing one heck of a eulogy in all facets, from how they compete, how they play, how they individually perform, but mostly how they lead this program. And they've got us on a really high standard. Now it's going to be up to Team 107 as the offseason hits for them to uphold that standard. But Team 106, led by those 4 seniors, our culture is in a really good place.
Coach, let's transition into the postseason. Everybody loves this time of year. Sectional plays next week. What gives you the most belief in this group and how they approach each game?
On the back of our practice jersey, it says winning doesn't care. And then we've really adopted a phrase called don't flinch. And where we use that schematically is, we know the way we're built defensively, we're going to give up some buckets, right? But where we've done a really great job before, all 4 of those seniors would flinch, right? Oh, gosh, it was my guy that scored. Oh, they scored. Now, and you've seen it, we get the ball at that basket and we're gone.
Yeah.
We don't flinch. So, Sal Dearborn, we didn't flinch. Other tough parts of the season, the James County game the other night, they come all the way back and take the lead late in the 4th quarter. We didn't flinch. So, Leon, that's where that's what allows me to sleep at night, right? I've got a group, and I'm experienced enough now to know, too, there's going to be really good other varsity basketball players, really good coaches preparing the varsity basketball team. So, there's no, as I said, the obituary that we put together, right, the success we put together, guess what it guarantees us? Absolutely nothing. Now we got to go earn it. So that's what gives me the most peace. I've got a group that doesn't flinch. I got a group that's connected. I got a group that loves each other. We're going to go ball and take our swings at it. And again, if a team takes us down, we're going to have played really well.
Every coach is asked about identity. It's kind of that buzzword. What's the identity of this team that makes you feel good about the postseason?
100% they don't flinch.
Yeah.
They don't flinch. They've gotten to where it's about the team, and that's where the winning doesn't care. On the other side, it says unbreakable. We do have an unbreakable bond, unbreakable trust, and it's been cool to see the confidence grow. Cameron Flutterman, that goes way back. Cameron Holcomb. God, that happens.
He won't watch.
Hey, very, very similar players. Cameron Flutterman could really shoot the ball too. Cameron Holcomb, I told him I thought he had his best game of his career against Jennings County on Friday. Hits 5 threes. He's always done that. But he got downhill. He hit all of his free throws. He made some big plays, some big rebounds, some defensive plays and rotations. So it's when you see those growth moments like that, and we haven't peaked yet. There was a stretch there early February, Leon. I'm like, man, did this group peak too early? Nope. After we've played that South Dearborn game, some things that have happened even in practice, today's practice even, we're still improving, we're still getting better, they're still striving to improve. I think that's the identity of this group.
In the postseason, Coach, going into it, what are some of the habits and the qualities that you trust in these guys as you prepare for sectional play?
Purposely, and I know Terrence has mentioned this on air, mentioned this in our interviews at times, there's been plenty of games this year where I've not burned timeouts. I've not burned them. And we're down 8-0. First game of the year, we're down 8-0 against Jacksonville, right? Some other games early, we didn't have good starts. Some other games, we had good starts, then we had a rough patch where teams came back. The other night against Jennings, I did call one, but it was a very calm huddle, right? Hey, we're getting good looks. We got to do this, this, and this. Let's make this tweak offensively. Happened to be for Braden Maple. They went out, executed. He's right downhill against an opponent that couldn't keep him in front. So that's where I've seen this growth take place. I think it's going to serve us really, really well. Because you know this. You've been a high-caliber athlete. You've been around high-caliber athletes and teams. We can't call timeout every time there's a problem.
Right.
This isn't football where there's a huddle each time, right?
Yeah.
So they've got to be able to real time fix it out there together. And even tonight when we did a certain drill that works on our transition, in real time they saw a play develop. The other teammate saw it. It was a cut, it was a pass, it was delivered, bucket. And those are things that are really, really coming in to be razor sharp.
Yeah. Coach, I know a lot of us are fans, me included, and we all think we know the game better than the coach most of the time. But what are some things you've seen with this team throughout the season that makes you feel like these guys are confident going into the postseason?
Just the sample size of production, right? You don't get to 18 wins unless you're doing a lot of things together, doing a lot of things well, unless you're being coachable, unless you're able to make adjustments and tweaks, whether it be at halftime, and a huddle, and a quarter break, and then taking those things out on the floor. And you go to my coaching staff, right? Coach Gherkin, Coach Bowman, Coach Gellert, they're always chiming in. Coach Henderson, the freshman coach at games. And you put all that together, but the players still have to take it to the floor. And that's where we even practiced tonight. Tonight we put in a new entry in, purposely started on the board. A couple guys messed up, but they're doing it in this practice setting. Next time we called it out, they're right into it.
Right.
So we're still working on some of those things that will come up in a game. Because you know this, I very, very rarely draw something up in the dirt, right? But we're putting some things on the board now that we've not shown, that we haven't used yet, in case we do need it. We're going to have confidence. More importantly, they're going to have confidence they can do it. We did some things defensively tonight that we're going to completely switch now. We've done some things in those games previous to this point because we've played everybody in our sectional. Can we get them reps? Do we like it? I think we do, but now we get them reps that are comfortable. And those are things, because it's going to variably, whether it be at the sectional level, regional level, semi-state, state. If you're going to win championship level basketball, it's going to come down to one or two possessions. And you're not going to rise to the occasion, right? You're going to fall to your standards, you're going to fall to your preparation. And that's where us as a staff and those guys as players, we got to make sure those standards, those preparations are at the right level to make those moments happen.
Coach, let's try to educate some of our listeners. We all know how to dribble, shoot, and all those different things. But from the mental aspect, when you get to sectional, it feels like every basket is heavy. How do you keep your guys from letting the moment get away from them, not getting too far ahead or not focusing too far behind them? How do you keep them in the moment?
I think Coach Painter's a savant at that. So I've shown him some Coach Painter clips from some Purdue games, that Nebraska game that was double overtime, unbelievable game. But then you have to remind them of what they have been through. Like, we'll use that South Dearborn game as an example.
Yeah.
Jennings County game the other night when they came back and took the lead. The big thing with us too, our mantra's been there's always a 6-0 run coming. We've been down in games, we've had an 18-0 run, right? We've had an 8.80 run, a 10-2 run. So you just harken back to those experiences. I've got to do a really good job in terms of not get worried about what the stripes are calling.
Yep.
Let them call that, because it's going to be a hit and miss in the sectional because they put those crews together that haven't worked together. But then also make sure as they come into the huddle, like that South Dearborn game, that was a sectional level game. The Jennings County game tonight, that was a sectional level intensity environment to where a lot of things happen in real time in that huddle, whether it be a 30-second timeout, full timeout. In the South Dearborn especially, we had to tell the guys, everybody take a deep breath, right? Calm down. And they do, and then you can talk about what you need to talk about. So it's those moments, and I'm blessed this year, Leon, where with our varsity guys, we have a lot of experience out there. We're gonna lean on it.
Yeah. Coach, I'm going to close with this. When you think about this team and this program and what you've accomplished so far, what has meant the most to you as their coach?
It's interesting you ask because we miss Andy Allen dearly, right? We lost a good one there. But just pure irony, we need an interim principal. And guess who steps in? Coach Seifert, right? So I'm most proud of as he handed this off now 18 years ago, which is unbelievable to me. But to have Melvin here to watch this group play, and as he talked with them in the Bulldog room, gave him some challenges to see them meet those challenges. But just have a program, and as you look at this up here, the 100-year banner, right? I got a great picture of Ron Laker looking at that banner, studying the memories of the past. And he said, too, this group is part of the fabric of this basketball program. I'm just a placeholder, right? I'm just a caretaker. Long after I'm gone, there'll still be a person coaching the Batesville Bulldogs on that sideline. There'll be players in the uniform playing the game. So I'm most proud of, and we purposely went to the retro practice jersey this year. That's the same design that was on when Coach Seifert coached and I took over. To send that message to make sure, yes, it's all about Team 106, because this is their only time for high school basketball, but also Team 106 is part of 106 years of Batesville basketball. So when you ask me what I'm most proud of, it's always, what are these guys going to lead the program with? And as I told the 4 seniors in that video, hopefully we improve them as basketball players, I think we have, but more so, fathers, husbands, sons. And then down the road, good community members impacting their communities. That's what I'm always most proud of, and this group has done that very well.
Coach, I'm going to say this right now. I'm looking forward to meeting with you after we win a sectional championship.
Deal.
I can't wait. Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.